Hello.
Hi, Sister Mead.
Hi, Sister White.
Hello, everyone. We're live right now on YouTube. So until we're ready to start, just to let you know.
Okay.
Let's see. We're happy to have everyone who is here so far. Sister Nelson would be coming on at the moment in the next minute. We trust that everyone had a great day and we're in for something special tonight.
Hello? Can you hear me?
Yes,
Hello?
we can. Yes, we can.
Okay. Okay, thank you. Let us pray. Heavenly Father, Son, and Holy Spirit, we invite your presence in our midst as we give you thanks for your goodness and your mercies towards us. Lord, help us to set aside the worries and distrust in our hearts so that we can fully feel your presence. As we present the speaker for the hour, I'm asking you to touch his lips with a live coal of fire from your altar that will burn away anything that is unlike you, so that nothing will hinder him from speaking in a clear, audible, and in a concise manner. So bless him and his family, rejuvenate him, and empower him with your blessings, so that we all will be blessed. And we, at the end, will have a better understanding of this malady, mental illness that is affecting your people. So, Lord, bless him and help all of us so that we'll listen attentively. And help us that at the end we'll meet our coming Savior, where there'll be no more illness, no more mental sickness will be among us, but we all will be seen around that white throne, holy, holy, holy. So until then, Father, keep us safe, keep us true, since we ask in faith believing through Jesus Christ, O Lord. Amen. We'll now have the scripture reading, which is taken from Philippians 4, verse 6. Be careful for nothing, but in everything, by prayer and supplication, with thanksgiving, let your requests be made known unto God. At this moment, we'll have a welcome. Dear brethren, friends, visitors, well-wishers, my name is Hyacinth Nelson. It gives me great pleasure to welcome one and all to this health ministry program. I do hope and trust that whatever will be said will be indelible and graven on our mind and leaving us with a burning desire to come again. Sit back and relax as we await to hear from the speaker things regarding our health. So at this moment, a special welcome to all. Thank you very much. Hello?
We'll now have our theme song.
Okay. My phone was loose, so I'm wondering if you're hearing.
There is no problem too big, God cannot solve it. There is no mountain too tall, He cannot move it. There is no storm too dark, God cannot calm it. There is no sorrow too deep, He cannot soothe it. For if He carry the weight of the world upon His shoulders, I know my brother that He would carry you if He carry the weight of the world upon His shoulders. I know my sister that He would carry you. He said, come unto me, all who are weary, and I will give you rest. There is no problem too big, God cannot solve it. There is no mountain too tall, He cannot move it. And there is no storm too dark, God cannot calm it. There is no sorrow too deep, He cannot soothe it. For if He carry the weight of the world upon His shoulders, I know my brother that He would carry you if He carry the weight of the world upon His shoulder. I know my sister that He would carry you. I know my brother, I know my sister that He's gonna carry you. I know He'll carry, God will carry you.
Sesame, please unmute.
Okay, you can hear me now, right?
Yes.
Okay. Right. For those of you who may not have been here last night, tonight is the second night of our Healthy Living series. Monday night is usually a different meeting you may have that you are accustomed to, but we have started a 3-day series on healthy living. And tonight is the second night of mental health. Now, we have a very eloquent speaker who was on last night, and it was very interesting, and I know that you won't be disappointed. Now, many of us, when we think of mental health, we think of meeting, people on the street who may be talking to themselves and maybe a bit weird, and we say, oh, that person is crazy. Well, mental health involves more than that. Mental health involves our emotions, our psychological, and our social well-being. And that helps to determine how we deal with certain things that happens in our life. Now, right now, we always say, okay, we are very, we are fine. We're not crazy. But I'm sure some of us are having some kind of a mental problem. Doesn't say we have to be on the street muttering and talking and doing weird things. But to deal with certain stresses and those things in our lives can affect us. And I'm sure with the pandemic that it's not even over, that we went through, where many people have lost loved ones, even their relatives, they cannot even be with them when they die, and those who may have become sick, may have lost their jobs. There are so many stresses around that, many people have been affected. And so tonight, we'll continue where we'll have our speaker. Now, our speaker is a native of Brooklyn. He's Gary Graham. He's someone who goes to church. He's a member of Ephesus Church in Manhattan. And he also does a lot of counseling. After he had graduated from Oakwood, he went on to be matriculated at the New York University, where he gained his master's in rehabilitation counseling. He also graduated at SUNY Downstate with his master's in public health. And currently, he's pursuing his doctorate in public health in SUNY Downstate. So there we see that, he has many things behind him. He very well educated. Now, his extensive education background, along with his experience, because he has worked for some years, over 25 years counseling and in mental health. He had over 10 years in substance abuse and 5 years in hospital administration and many other things that he has done for the community. So with his extensive education and background, along with his expertise, with his experience as executive in healthcare, and also within the faith-based organization, this helped to support his expertise in consulting work. He presently also has a public practice where he does counseling. He is presently married to the former Nilsa Salmon, and together they have a son who is Gary Graham II. He takes pleasure in serving his community, and that is why he would like to continue to educate us as to how we could deal with the problems that come our way in life. So tonight would be no different, and many of us will be able to learn many things to help us. I do hope you have your pencil and paper, and remember, you can put a question in the chat. If not, you could write your question, because he's going to give give a period of time where we can ask questions, and he'll be willing and able to answer our question. So at this moment, I'm going to turn it over to our well-able speaker, Gary Graham. Thank you.
Okay. So there's a button on it and a plus, and then in the middle of your screen on the bottom is chat. If you can hear me and if you can see me, really venturous you at and hit the reaction. If not, we'll back that up. I don't know what happened, but we're gonna move on today. All right. I just kind of need to know again, please, if you can hear me, wave your hand or press the reaction button or put it in the chat. Okay. Thank you very much, host. Appreciate it. Okay, good. As you can see, I'm very happy to have you here tonight. I'm glad for those who came early in our 6:15 session where we had questions, comments, and some thoughts. I put a bonus lecture for couples in there. So I think it is recorded, so you can go and see it. So I'm very happy for that. In the poll, the host is going to put in the poll if you want to do the session, the bonus session tomorrow at 6:15 is a yes or a no. So we want to put that in there, a yes and a no. Working with me tonight is my partner, my sister, Karen. She will be putting the information in, and we're going to run this very differently so we don't get cut off. We are running on our backup system here. So we're going to go through two subjects today. We're going to talk about boys and boys to men, where we talk about how we're going to work with our boys. That's one of my areas of expertise, and the pandemic and mental health. And I'm going to talk about EAP. I got some feedbacks about EAP, those at the job, so you don't have to use your insurance. And I'm going to touch on depression, anxiety, and OCD, and addiction. So thank you so much, Sister Mead. I know you listened to it, the lecture yesterday, because what you said today, that was not in the bio that I sent. So I know you were listening. I thank you so much. Thank you, Jan Chu, for everything which you have done. So let's move on real quick. I want to try to get through the lecture real quick so everybody can understand what's going on. Once again, hit the polls, hit the chats, and hit the reaction buttons. What I really want to start out today is with, I hope on Monday today was a beautiful day, and you get to hear the breeze in the background. Some of you, I encourage you to take the day off because it's a beautiful day and it's going to rain later this week. Take some time for yourself so you could decompress. You know, we used to go to church to decompress. And as much as I like going to church on video, it is still not good enough. So I miss seeing my friends at church. I miss sitting in the balcony at Ephesus. I miss traveling to church, standing on the corner of 123rd and Lenox and see everybody come in, and I just see them and I tell them happy Sabbath. One of the most joyful experiences for me, but now that has been taken away for COVID. So how do I work with that? I've met some great people online, and I long to see them when or if the pandemic is over. And I look forward to seeing them. Some of them had babies. Some of them are 30 years my junior. Some of them I've met through 6 degrees of separation. They know my brother, and my brother's friend know them, and has come back to me. I haven't seen my parents in over a year. My dear Karen, who's working with me today, I just happened to see Karen one time in the last 18 months, and she will tell you that. And so she teased me about my hair, but I love her to death, and I look forward to hanging out with her when I see her soon. Um, so with that being said, um, we are all have some type of suffering of missing our friendships, but we also gain friendships too. Social media has come to the place where we can make up for that and build a bridge to what is coming on in the future. If you notice closely, I am transforming right before your eyes. Yesterday, I had a full beard and a full mustache, and today I look like a baby frog. And so I cut that off because I'm making my transition into the fall and into the Delta virus. And I always talk about doing something physical when you make your goals. I think I said yesterday there's 129 days before the end of the year. Some of you have made goals, some of you have partially gone through your goals, and there's nothing better than taking you out of depression, and there's nothing better than decreasing your anxiety than hitting your goals. Okay. I have a friend of mine, she does hair. She does her hair all the time. Sometimes she does my hair. She does my wife's hair. And out of the blue, she posted online that she said, "Oh, I did a thing today. I'm here in California or Arizona, and she's doing body sculpting." Next thing you know, my dear wife is buying time to body sculpt from this person. But I could tell you this, if she's going through depression, if she's going through anxiety, I could guarantee you that her anxiety has decreased because she's gotten that out of the way. So many of you, the COVID experience has allowed you to get some more time for yourself, to read those books, to get your mani and your pedi, to go to a country that you always wanted to do. You come to find out that you're more talented at home than you were at work. You come to find out that you've been reading more. You watched the Olympics and you found out, wow, I knew Jamaica was fast, but I didn't know that they were that fast. You got some time for yourself. And now that the country is opening up and they want you to come back, you say, hold on a second, my mental health means a lot to me. So take down your pen and paper. And if you give me some bonus time tomorrow, I want to break it down. When I do lectures and I do these things, sometimes people come to your church and they just draw these things out, talk about what they did. You can read this stuff online, but I'm just giving you the reality. So I'm going to start with three things. I'm going to talk about depression, I'm going to talk about anxiety, and I'm going to talk about OCD. All right. So when we talk about mental health, we talk about being in the middle, a equilibrium. All right. So you're either hot or you're cold. Thank you, Karen. So, and depression is slow. All right. You're sad. You want to cry. Okay. Depression doesn't happen for one day. If somebody blocks you on social media and you're sad, that's only for a couple of hours. That is not depression. If somebody, you were going out on a date with somebody and you had a bad date and you feel bad for one day or a couple of days, that is not depression. Depression goes a long way. When I look for depression and I hear depression, I look for something between 3 to 6 weeks at the beginning to years. There are people who are depressed around you that looks good, they're dressed up, they have their hair cut and everything's fine and they look perfect, and they go home and they cry themselves to sleep. They wake up in the morning and they cry themselves all day. They look great, as I said, they tell the best jokes, they're articulate, they're always there for you for Sabbath school, they're always dropping off somebody, they cook a mean veggie dish, they do everything right. But as soon as they close the door, they are crying. You're not going to find this in any book. This is what is happening. I guarantee you, if you think somebody is depressed, walk away from them for 5 minutes and do a quick turnaround and go right back. That's why when I tell people when they feel sad or depressed, one of the biggest pick me up is to clean yourself. Yeah, there's people who put clothes on and makeup and don't clean themselves thoroughly. Or I tell them to get rid of the clutter in your house. And you know what? Ask somebody to help you declutter. Go into your car, go through the glove compartment, go into your car, go through the back seats, go into your closets and see all those old sneakers that you've had. Go into your papers and it's 2021 and you have papers from 2003. Get rid of them. Let it go. Let it go. Okay? That's the depression part about it. Okay? You can be sad for a day, you can be sad for a weekend, but especially those of us who lives in the Northeast, we rarely get sun. The vitamin D is a very integral part of your mental health. And as of today, when you get days like today, you go out and you call out sick for a day like today. Because I'm gonna tell you something, your boss is calling out sick, or your boss is making sure you work and they take an extra long lunch hours. You are toiling away and hurting away, okay? Number 2, anxiety. Even before today, people like to use the word anxiety, a little nervous, you know, you want to impress Christian fellowship. You want to impress Sister Mead, my friend Troy, who's behind the scenes. And, you know, when I came on today at 6:15, nobody was there. And when I seen Jan come on and 18 other people, I said, okay, there's somebody who wants to do that. I'm human too. But it doesn't mean that I'm suffering from long-term anxiety, okay? Every day you have some type of anxiety, but it's not the anxiety that we're talking about, that you worry about it all the time. There are ways that anxiety stays for a long time and it sticks with you and it locks you in, that you overplan and underperform, or you underperform and you promise to plan. Just look at it this way. Sometimes you have Sabbath school to do and you're asked to do Sabbath school, okay? And you wait till the last minute and they call it procrastination. You put anxiety on yourself. Or sometimes you plan for it and you overplan. You get this big power presentation, you get actors, you get mules, you get horses, and everybody, you get and you get costumes and people come to Christian fellowship, people lined up outside to come, and you find out that you did all of that and it didn't mean anything. You have to find a balance of what it is. So you have to take your time each day and work it out. Try not to over prepare and under prepare, and try not to procrastinate and not and try not to overdo it where you pack everything and you still leave your toothbrush at home. It happens, okay? Funny thing, I want to talk about OCD. The third thing is that in the Black community, we love using the word OCD. All right. And it's like I go over to Sister Mead's house or Sister White's house, and I go to Myrna's house and I go over to have some food over there, and she keeps the house immaculate. And as soon as she put the food on the table, she picks up the food, and she changes out the plates, and she's washing the dishes. Myrna is the type of person that she does not go to bed at night unless the dishes are clean. Myrna is the type of person, before she goes to bed, she was taught as a young lady that she keeps her house clean, right? And then you go to church, and then you talk to Sister Gamble or Brother Gamble, and then they say, well, you know, that Myrna, she has OCD. Myrna doesn't have OCD. Myrna is super clean. That's all it is. OCD is somebody like your church elder who comes in every Sabbath, and before they have the processional that goes on the platform, he has to rub his hair 3 times and tap his shoulder 3 times before he gets on the platform. You've been seeing him do it for years. Nobody asks, nobody questions. You go back on the videotape for years past, you see this elder, he does not sit in the third chair for any reason. He comes to prayer meeting, he doesn't sit on the third row. He goes to business meeting, he does not sit on the third aisle, the third seat away from the head of the committee meeting. Well, heck, he may not even say number 305. He'll point to the hymnal advertisement, or he'll point, it's in your bulletin. And so when he sees that he sees 305 or the number 30, he tries to avoid the number 3. OCD is obsessive compulsive disorder. Thank you. That's why we have you said occur, but obsessive compulsive disorder. Obsessive, you're obsessed with a certain thing. Compulsive is doing it over and over and over again. And then you have the disorder. So because Myrna wants to wash her dishes every night, that's not obsessive compulsive disorder. Myrna is somebody, if she keeps on going to the door and keep on checking the door every 7 minutes, that's obsessive compulsive disorder. All right. So when these things happen, I want you to understand that we put this in our lexicon every day, and it really doesn't mean anything, because when you pull it out, there are so many different subtitles to it. And we want to take this out of our lexicon. That's why you don't hear people say the word retarded anymore. That's why you don't hear the word crazy anymore. Or in West Indian terms or Jamaican terms or Jamaican patois, you don't hear the word, well, Gary's mad in his head. Those are derogatory terms. So I'm going to take a quick video. I want everybody, I'm not going to put the video on here. So in the chat, we're going to put a video of Simone Biles. All right. First, you're going to see a video of Simone Biles. All right. It is going to be in your chat. It is not going to be on the screen. I want everybody to go into the chat. I've been doing this for the last 4 sessions that I've with the other churches and other companies. So everybody will get involved. Go into the chat. Karen is going to put in the chat about Simone Biles. And then we're going to look on the YouTube. It's for 1 minute and 2 seconds. This is compliments of my parents. My parents said to me, Gary, make sure that you take a little break. And I was figuring out how to do it, because if I listen to my parents all the time, something great comes out of it. And we want everybody to process what I just said. But so I'm going to say right now it's 7:34. At 7:36, I'm going to put back on my camera, and you're going to look at the video of Simone Biles. Thank you very much. Okay, I'm back. If somebody would put in the chat or say something, what are your thoughts about seeing Simone Biles talk about her issue? We'd just love to hear it real quick. I have a multitude of people here in the chat. I just want to hear one person jump out and say, what do you think about the video? Okay, well, I'm just going to go ahead, going once, going twice. I don't see anything in the chat. I don't see anybody lighting up. And host, I'm going to, oh, she reinforced, oh, wait, it's coming on through, very expressive. Thank you very much. She reinforced the benefits. Thank you.
I did not see a video.
Okay, so we're going to move on. If you didn't see the video, we're going to leave it in the chat so you could take a peek at it. It's in the chat.
I
Okay.
didn't see the video, Brother Gary, because I'm in my car on my phone. But I
Okay.
did see her. I did watch the Olympic, and I see her, and I think that that was so courageous of her.
Yes.
Very courageous of her, you know, and so perceptive that she's know herself, and she just, you know, it was great for a young woman, because sometimes,
Yes.
you know. So.
Yes. Thank you very much. Host, you can mute everybody. You said it, courageous. Somebody said very expressive. How many times you didn't feel like going to work, you're not sick, and you just tired, nothing big, and it's your mental health. If you don't take care of your mental health, you can't take care of yourself. Sometimes when you have an issue with mental health, you end up doing something different, like eating. You know, people end up eating instead of taking care of their mental health, or sleeping in. Sleeping in on Sabbath and sleeping in, I like that one, honest to herself. Perfect. Sleeping in on Sundays is different than sleeping in on a work week. There's some extra you get when you say to yourself, I'm not doing it today. I don't care if you call today, I'm not answering the phone. I'm not going to work. I'm not taking a train. Okay. But just like people expects you to go to work and make the money for the company, Simone Biles has all these sponsors, and everybody got mad at her. They're not worried about her mental health. They could care less if she jumps off a roof and hurt herself. We'll have a funeral. We'll say she's the greatest athlete in gymnastics ever, and they're going to keep it moving. People were upset. And then the tennis player, I think you could look it up, Karen, and put it in the chat. I think it's Jokic, or the Joker they used to call him. He lost. He talked about how Simone Biles should be working with the pressure, and he needs to be a professional. And then when he lost in the Olympics, he put on a temper tantrum, and he decided that he was not going to play in his doubles. A clear double standards, not for on a woman, but also for a woman of color. We applaud Our Lady Simone Biles. There's one more I want to share with you, and that's with Osaka, Naomi Osaka. Kay, could you put up Naomi Osaka for me? She's the one right after that. For those who don't know Naomi Osaka is a tennis player who pulled out of a major competition. I think it was the French Open, and she got more. Thank you, brother and sister. I meant to say she reinforced the importance of mental health. Got you. I think more than Simone Biles, because the Olympics is a bigger stage. Naomi Osaka, who is half Japanese and half Haitian, really opened the doors for that. So as soon as Cam put that up, I'm going to give you a couple of minutes to look at that. I want to thank you for really getting involved in the chat room. And she'll put it in there, Naomi Osaka, and then we will talk about it. Is it there, or should I move on? Okay, I don't see it there. She probably is trying to pull it up. Is there? Yeah, I see that it's not in the chat. So I'll wait for her to pull that up. Oh, it looks like it just came up. Yep. If everybody will look at this is Naomi Osaka. It's 7:42. I'm going to give everybody till 7:44. Thank you so much. See you on the other side. Okay, let's put in the chat your thoughts about the Naomi Osaka clip for 1 minute. And if you still have some thoughts regarding Simone Biles, you still could put that on there. You could put that in the chat. If you want to say something, please jump in and then I will give my comments. Again, thank you for being so technically savvy. Thank you for the host for working with me. With that, this is a new thing that I'm going. Jan Chu raised her hand. Jan, you're not allowed to talk. You're the boss. Go ahead, speak.
I just think while the others are getting their stuff together. With regards to Simone, I'm like hats off to the girl. She really, really opened the door wide open when it comes to this how you feeling in your head. I mean, she could have gone out there and did whatever, but she's like, yo, I'm not in my space today, and I'm like really, really proud of what she did. And I think we could take a page from her book and kind of do some of that stuff.
Mm-hmm. Okay, it's absolutely fine. So here's the thing, Jan, um, and I want us to be real. If Jan came tonight or Sister Mead came tonight or myself came tonight and I said, boy, I'm not really feeling well. I have to take care of my mental health. I think we will all have a hard time embracing that. And I would have a hard time embracing that. So, as much as we applaud Naomi Osaka, and as much as we applaud Simone Biles, and as much as I see you, Veronica, Sister Hercules, yes, it's Sister Gamble, not Brother Gamble. So I remember that. We all still have a long way to go to embrace all of that. So, if I was sick with COVID or I had the flu, it'll be a different thing. So one of the listeners says, people are selfish. The public wants to be entertained at the expense of others. Give me a real name. I love that. Jan raised her hand. Come on in, Jan. Thank you.
So can I tell you that I get like, I don't usually get sick, right? But I have all these sick days, and yeah, there are days when I'm not feeling my best. And you know what? I call in, I'm like, I'm not coming in today. When I go to work the next day, they says, yo, what's up with you? I'm like, yo, I had to take a mental health day. I've been
Right.
saying that for many years. And like, because I wasn't sick, I'm like, I just need a break. And now that you say it, I'm like, yo, I guess I was not that crazy for saying I need
I,
a mental health day.
I love it.
And that was the best day to be off. Yo, use up your days. Take it. You don't have to be
All
sick.
right.
Feel
I'm so happy that we have a little bit more. No Sister Meat is happy about this. Before I leave, uh, Mr. Pope, we are to respect others when they say and not are up to it. Yes, I want to make sure we do an exercise. Say, why were you sick yesterday? I called in sick, and that's all you need to know. Yes, Sister Gamble, she said, got reprimanded on my job recently because as a teacher leader, I told somebody in the meeting that, and I see ... see what she says over there. But I have written letters for people who needed a sick day. Plan your mental health days. I want my sister to do a job if she could. She's really good at this, and before I end, she'd pull it up. Just look up and Google how many wasted sick days the average worker leaves or has not used. They'll put it out there. It's a lot. There's people that don't use their sick days. Oh, I'm not sick. Yes, you are. I told you about the scenario that you cannot come to Sabbath school or church 52 weeks of the year and feel at your best. Somebody with the Galaxy S21 plus 5G, a big
Yes,
shot has their hands on. Talk to
yes,
me.
Brother Gary. A lot of workplaces now have what they call, I don't know what they call the room, but they have a room now where you as an employee can go for 20 minutes if
Uh-huh.
you're feeling overwhelmed, and no one can deny you of that. And I think that's one of the things that we need to know about our workplaces, that we can go and take a break when we're overwhelmed. I think it has been acknowledged now by some employers that this is necessary.
Valerie says they call it a wellness room. Galaxy, I got you. I'm with you with that. But you know what I'm still saying? I still want you to take your day off. You know
I'm
when
with that. I'm with that.
listen, bro, Labor Day is coming up, right? You know what I
Yeah,
want everybody to do this week? Take the Friday off. So you get
there
the
you go.
bookend weekends, right? So I'm gonna ask Sister Me to put that bonus money into the treasury, and anybody who take bookend days get extra money and take your wellness days. And I have my friend sculpt you in Arizona because she's looking for business. All right. This has been a better Veronica Hercules. I see you. I saw your comment. Thank you very much. She smiled. She has somebody in there. Two people in the box.
I actually wanted to say something.
You did.
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
sure. Did you raise your hand or you just came on the screen?
I just came on the screen.
All right, go ahead, Sister Hercules. I got you. Come on in.
I'm sorry. I was saying that I heard you talking about, the athletes that they kind of set up, I guess, for us to follow that if you need a mental health day, you need a mental health day. But my thing is, I don't know who's gonna agree with me, but like if I pay my money to go see LeBron James play,
Mm-hmm.
when we go watch a game, it's a lot of money.
Mm-hmm.
If I go pay all this money to see LeBron James play, I don't want to hear he's taking a mental health day. I want to see LeBron James play because I just paid hundreds of dollars to see LeBron James play.
Mm-hmm.
So how does that work out? I don't know if I want to hear he's taking a mental health day. I'm not gonna be happy about that.
Well, I thank you for the excellent question. And I agree with you. If my favorite baseball player or football player, and I came to the stadium, or when you go to a Broadway show, I come to see Barbara Streisand and her understudy was doing. This is what you do. You ask for your money back from the especially if you're a season ticket holder, and especially if you are a single ticket holder. I said I came to see LeBron James play, dear Los Angeles Lakers, and he did not play because that follows under some selfishness, Sister Hercules, where a lot of athletes started to do what they call load management. I'm not playing today because I want to save myself for the playoffs. So the working man like me and you cannot do that. I had to, when I was asked, I'm very privileged to be here. All right. And I'm gonna be very transparent. You know, my brothers get to do week of prayer. My good friend Dr. Berg gets to do week of prayers. And then when I looked on the thing, the advertisement, I looked on it and Sister Mead had me here for 3 days. Okay. And then I said to myself, I can't get sick. You know what I mean? I can't take any mental health days. That's why I use there's some people who are looking for this. I look in this grid, there's a lot of people here. And if I didn't show up, I say, I paid my money to hear this spectacular guy speak and he didn't show up. If you have your favorite athlete and they don't show up, and this, I'll do a whole lecture on this too. If I went the other day to Wendy's to get a hamburger, and I'm gonna say this, black people don't do this, right, do this a lot too. We unsatisfied and we go into the manager and we cuss out the manager, put it on paper. I can guarantee you, if you go to the stadium and you want to see your favorite athlete and that favorite athlete was not playing that day, they will give you your money back. That I will say. I'll even go as far as I'll write the letter for you. So, and LeBron James has talked about that, playing for the people, that's why he doesn't take days off or what have you. And true, again, Sister Hercules, this is why they have sports psychologists. They spend millions of dollars. One day I'll get there, and they ask people like me to fly out to Los Angeles to make sure that their head is right, so they play every day. So I feel you. Thank you for your input. I appreciate it. Uh-oh. Somebody's getting sharp here. The state of New York gives you the first 5 days after your anniversary at your job to take it. Where were all these people yesterday? And you can scatter it without saying you are sick. You can use it and do what you want. Some places they have, if you don't use it, you lose it. Okay, it's 7:54. It was a wonderful lecture today. I am going to take a straw poll account host. I don't see the question up there. I don't know if you're going to chime in if you want to do it, but I could take a straw poll real quick. We could put up the grid and see how many people wants to do it. Or right now, Sister Mead is my boss. I answer to her. Sister Mead, if you want me to come on at 6:15 tomorrow and do a bonus session, I'll be more than happy to. So let's discuss that right now. Let's hear some feedback and we can do that.
That's fine with me.
You're gonna overrule all polls. You want you want me to come in at 6:15 tomorrow?
Yeah, I'll be here.
Okay. I hear a bunch of let me see what Sister Hercules is gonna say, because she went against the grain today. Sister Hercules, what do you think? She probably ran away. Jafel says, just as there are incentives, let me read what he said. Don't take it down, Kay. Just as there are insensitive sponsors, there are insensitive fans. But in activity of life, we can have burnout. Excellent, Jafel. Thank you so much.
6:15 sounds good.
Okay, Veronica, I got you. I got you. That's fine. Okay. All right. Sister Gamble, I know you talked a couple of times. What you think? 6:15 tomorrow, bonus time? Well, we heard from the boss today. She said
fine
yes.
with me. I'll go on my phone while I'm driving from work.
Okay. Well, you calling from work. You gangster.
No, on my way.
Okay. You're on your way to work, right?
No, after I leave the soup kitchen.
Oh, yeah? All right, then we're going to have to get you an Uber, one of those XL Ubers, and have you.
No, I drive.
All right.
By myself.
All right, you as yourself. Okay. All right. I thank you. I'm going to ask Karen. I'll talk to her today. I'm going to look up, and maybe somebody could look up. We have a bunch of people in here. Look out how many days are wasted or we leave on the table for sick days. That's our assignment for tomorrow. With that being said, any other questions or combat? We're going to close the feedback time. We'll be back here at 6:15 tomorrow. I will go to my schedule and I will move it around for you. Any comments, questions, or thoughts?
You wouldn't like to know how many days I'm wasting for sick days that I don't take.
I'm going to make sure you take your sick days.
Oh, Lord.
Yeah, I'm going to make sure of that. Well,
Mr. Gary,
yes.
could you please address the need for people who are in retirement age to take their sick time, and just make sure that they plan to retire early enough so that they could have some quality time before they can help themselves. The importance of early retirement.
Yeah, I
Thank you,
would.
Shirley.
Can I address that tomorrow during bonus time? Because I want to get
Yes,
some statistics
yes,
where that
please.
is. Yeah, yeah. I'm going to say this very nicely. A lot of us come here as immigrants and think that we have to work double and triple overtime.
Amen,
And
sir.
as soon as you retire, 2 years later, you drop dead. Not
Amen,
worth
sir.
it. Not worth it. It's not worth it. But when you come in, there are plans to double and triple your money. Like, sometimes the state takes 3% of your money and put it in retirement, but sometimes the state will match it if you do 9% or 12%. So the money you spend on hamburgers and ackee and saltfish in the morning and oxtails in the evening, you could put before retirement and retire at 55 instead of 65. So I will address that tomorrow. That's part of your mental health and planning. Yeah. And then do something you like. All right. I got 2 more minutes.
Brother Grier.
Yes, dear.
This is Sister Herbert. I really agree with you with taking your sick time, because when I retired, I retired a year or two before my time. I didn't have any sick time left back to be paid for. I took all of them.
Right.
I make certain I took all of my sick time, because when you need these mental health days.
Right.
So and people have all these sick time, and when they retire, they only pay you for half, and all the other half goes to your employer.
Yep.
Okay.
Well, I love that. I'm gonna make a lecture that says take your sick time.
Of course.
I see 62 people on the grid here. For Labor Day and Columbus Day, take the Friday off. They can't stop you. All right. Karen, I know you always taking sick time. I had to beg you to come on tonight. All right. I love you guys. Sister Mead, I'm going to hand it right back over to you. And Sister Jan, thank you so much. I'll see you tomorrow at 6:15. The boss has said I'll be here at 6:15. I'll be there at 6:15. Love you much.
Thank you ever so much for such an interactive evening. It's amazing how time goes by so quickly when things are so interesting. Thanks again for your time tonight. Look forward to having you tomorrow.
So while we wait for the other announcement, please invite someone to come on early tomorrow at 6:15. You don't want them to miss out on this awesome time that we're having. And hey, don't forget, use up that time that you got coming to you. You've earned it. And I'm not sure if you guys realize it, but look on your pay stub. Most of us who get 5 days off for sick, it doesn't roll over into the next year. If you don't take it this year, you start the next year with 5, but hey, that's not earning 5 the next year. You lost out on your sick days. So use them up. See you guys tomorrow at 6:15. Remember to invite someone.
Yes, Sister Janet, I'll be using my 369 hours up.
Way to go, way to go.
Mine is 400 and something.
Okay, good night, everyone. See you tomorrow.
Okay, good night. Good night.
Night, everybody.
Good night.